eventually it led up to my blog post that I wrote, where one night he threatened to kill me, and he tried. And I mean, it's kind of a crazy story. I mean, it is crazy. It doesn't even feel like it happened to me anymore. It feels like someone else's story that I'm telling, which is cool. Means I've healed. But he tried killing me, and then at one point he did try killing himself in front of me. And so things like that happen, like I just said. And if you're in an emotionally abusive relationship, it can only keep escalating. That's something I want to stress so much. It doesn't just stop. It doesn't just immediately end somehow. It only ever gets worse. It keeps getting worse. So you need to address it now. You can't wait. How did I figure out I was abused? Let's talk about that. So I get to college. I actually come to college to get away from him. And so I came to college, developed healthy relationships, actual healthy relationships with friends and with people I looked up to, like my spiritual mentor, Claire. I saw what healthy relationships look like, and I realized, okay, I've never experienced that before. All I knew was this really unhealthy one. And it didn't really show up until I dated someone else later on. So it was the end of my freshman year, and I dated this boy, and things were starting to get serious, and I thought I was fine. That's something important to note, is after I got out of that relationship, I thought I handled it really well. I'm normal, like, right? I mean, I get up every day, I'm fine, I'm breathing. I mean, I can hold normal conversations, I don't run away crying every day. And I had healed to some extent. But what I didn't realize is that you're only bandaging the problem unless you get professional help. And it's a hard truth. It's a hard truth. You have to get professional help. You just do. Because once you experience stuff like that, you can't unexperience it. You have to have someone come in, help you dig it out of your heart, and actually heal it. Whereas when I got to freshman year of college, I had just bandaged it, and I didn't realize that until I got in this other relationship, and the bandage was ripped off by little things. And this relationship I was in was fine. Like, it was healthier. It wasn't abusive in any way. So then I get to college, I'm dating this other boy, and I expect us to be together all the time. I'm like, this is all I know. Why don't you want to hang out with me? Is there something wrong with me? Why aren't you texting me back? Are you mad at me? All these things that I had experienced, I'd felt because of this relationship in high school, but I didn't realize it was now affecting my other relationships. So that was the first warning sign. The second warning sign that I had realized something was really wrong with me was when this boy broke up with me. We hadn't been dating that long, and it was a fine breakup. It was really okay. Any other person probably would have realized, okay, that's not that bad of a breakup. But to me, my world was shattered. I dated the high school boy for 4 years, and that breakup was rough, let me tell you. But the one in college, I'd only dated him for a few months, and this one was way worse. Rocked me, because now I felt like I'd lost everything. Now I felt like, okay, this normal boy, I recognized my college boyfriend was normal, and he didn't want me. So then no one wants me, right? And these are the lies that you tell yourself, because they're all you've known. And so after that, I became really, really, really depressed out of nowhere within a week time span after this breakup. So that's when I realized, okay, Kira, there is something wrong with you, and you need to admit it. So that's when I sought counseling, because I was depressed. Like, I didn't want to get out of bed. I didn't get out of bed. I skipped a lot of my classes. I pushed a lot of my friends away because they didn't understand. And through these counseling sessions, I realized, man, I have deep scars. And I didn't go to counseling until basically almost 2-ish years after I had been in a bad relationship. So I had suffered through it for 2 years without even realizing that I had problems still. And she helped me realize this. She helped me dig up all of these things. And she helped me be able to identify them in other guys so that I can then be equipped to never get in a relationship like that again. And also, I think the most important thing to note through all of this is that at this time I also sought out God. This is when I came to know Christ, was when I started going to counseling. They literally went hand in hand, and that was God's timing. And so not only was it counseling that got me through this, but more importantly, it was the Lord and His healing. And I found my worth in Him. And as I continue to talk, that'll be important, but I found my worth in him. And so as my counselor was talking me through all of this, I had to take my misplaced worth in all these other boys, and I didn't just keep it, like I didn't just not put it anywhere, but I put it into the Lord. I put it into the Lord. And so I realized that's the only place I'm going to be able to put my self-worth and know that it's never going to be thrown back at me, or I'm never going to be hurt by it, or I'm always going to know that I'm loved. And so if that's not something that you've done, is kind of seek out God to help you, or to kind of give your life to him, to feel loved, to feel something that you're never ever going to feel by another person on this earth. If you have a hole in your heart like I did, you're going to constantly seek out to fill it with something else. Mine was boys. Mine was bad relationships. So I was going to keep searching for that until I filled that hole. And the only thing that fills a hole like that is God, because he created it with us, because he wants us to put him in there. And so if that's not something you've done, get a hold of me. I'm serious. Or seek out someone who you could see as being a spiritual leader, and they can walk you through what it looks like to start following Christ and to fill that hole. Something I constantly have to give to the Lord is my feeling of inadequacy and my feeling of being unloved and dependent, because I just have to recognize my need for him in that area, because people are always, I'm always going to disappoint people, and things like this aren't ever going to go away. There's still going to be instances where my boyfriend doesn't text me back, or my husband doesn't give me the love I want, and I get upset about it, and it could be like a PTSD thing where it takes me back to that moment in high school where I felt that. Or I could give it to God and be like, God, I know this isn't true. I know this is a scar I'm dealing with right now. I know this is a trigger of mine. I'm going to give it to you, and I'm going to trust that even though this person isn't making me feel loved like I need to, that you can. And also, something I haven't really talked about in this video is he made me feel dirty and used and just gross, because along with the emotional abuse, I also experienced a lot of sexual abuse. And that's kind of like a don't say it kind of topic. Like, oh my gosh, did she really just say that? Yeah, I did. Okay. College people love talking about sex. Okay. So let's just add abuse onto it. Like, let's not literally add abuse to it, but let's add the word abuse to it, and let's talk about it in a different sense. I can't believe I just said that. But I was sexually abused. And so this looked like if I didn't do the things that he wanted me to sexually, then he would shame me. He would tell other people about it, that I was too good, I was goody two-shoes, or he would make me feel neglected, so he would ignore me for days. This could even be in the form of me not giving him a kiss or something. If I was mad and I didn't give him that affection, he would be mad, and then he would treat me differently because of it. And like, I was worth nothing. And I know that's something hard to hear. It's something that used to be hard for me to say, but I'm really open about it, because it's like, people need to know that people struggle with it. And people should be talking about it. But Karen helped me realize, you are going to deal with this in your marriage if you don't deal with it now. Not only the feeling dirty aspect, but the feeling unloved, feeling worthless, feeling like I'm dependent. I had to deal with all of that now, and I felt like God brought that up into my life to be reconciled now. Otherwise, I would have to do it later in a marriage, which would not be fair to that other person, and it wouldn't be healthy. Or I could deal with it with my kids, like treating them how I was treated, because that's all I knew, or my friendships. And I was terrified about that. I was so scared that I was willing to do anything Karen told me to do to get rid of it. Whew. So you might be thinking, Kira, do I have hope? Well, let me tell you, I like to consider myself normal in a weird way. I'm weird, okay? But I'm normal in the sense that I've healed from it. And I'm confident of that. One, because Karen told me I had. And two, because it's been, I guess, close to 4 years now since I was in that relationship. And I feel better than I ever have. I feel like the most like myself I've ever felt. I feel the most loved I've ever felt, even though I'm single. I don't feel like I need to date someone else to feel loved. I've never been closer to the Lord because I didn't have the Lord. And I can confidently say that when I do get in a relationship, I'm not going to bring all this baggage that I had from that bad relationship to the table. So I'm excited. And I'm excited for someone who's going through something like this, for them to pursue help and to pursue answers and get it, because healing is right around the corner. You just have to take it. God has so many resources for us to get healing, and he's one of them, and he's the main one. And if you just take it and use it, you're going to be healed. And that's the most beautiful truth that I think anyone who did experience something like I had experienced could heal, that you could be normal, that you could feel normal, that you don't have to feel that way your entire life, because I don't anymore. As of today, I haven't been in a relationship for 2 years, and that's been intentional. I've chosen to stay single, not that people are banging down my door, but I've chosen to be single, to work on myself, to work on my relationship with God, and to work on my friendships and relationships, especially with girls, but with other people too. And I've done that because I wanted to make sure I gave myself enough time to be healed. I didn't want to jump into something and just test out the waters, like, let's see if Kira's healed today. No, I wanted to spend the sweetest time with the Lord. It's a process that's still going on, and I'm still being refined. And I can't wait to see what I even look like a couple years down the road. But that's not something I could have said 2 years ago when I was dealing with all of this crap. I couldn't have said that. But here we are today, and I feel better than ever. But it was through counseling. It was through the Lord. It was through time alone. And it was through being vulnerable with other people about what's happening. That was an old part of my life, but God's redeemed it, and he's done so much good with it, because I get to talk about stuff like this with other people all the time. And it's something I'm very passionate about. But it's not something that anyone ever talked to me about before I met Karen. It wasn't. Emotional abuse literally was not on the radar until I went to get help and I read books on it. And so that's freaking awesome. I hope other people step out of their comfort zone. They talk about the things that don't get talked about: emotional abuse, sexual abuse, physical abuse, all the things that happen. My advice to you: get help. First, get out. Get help, and then go out. Go out and tell people about it. Tell the world. More importantly, thank God for what he has done in your life, because I'm sure he's doing a heck of a lot. So that's what I've got, okay? Whoop whoop! That's all I've got to give you. I have a lot more personal experiences I could share. If you want to email me, or text me, or call me, or meet up with me and get coffee, because your girl loves her coffee. I tell you what, I'll sit and talk with anyone over a cup of coffee. I just reminisced for a second thinking about my last cup, which was this morning. Actually, it was probably an hour ago. Dang it. I'm actually gonna go get another cup of coffee because I'm addicted. New addiction, just different place, am I right? That was inappropriate. Okay, bye, thanks.